Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we are going to teach you how to solve long division problems using decimals when you have remainders. Let's go straight to our examples. In this example, I have 428 divided by 5. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw lines separating each of my digits so that I can concentrate on one section of the problem at a time. And I'll start with 4 divided by 5 in that first section. 4 divided by 5 is 0. After I divide, I multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. Then we subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. And instead of bringing down, we're going to bring the 4 up into the next section of problem. Now I'm working in that middle section of the problem. I have 42 divided by 5. I start back with division. 42 divided by 5 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 42 minus 40 is 2. And instead of bringing a number down, I'm going to bring the 2 up into the next section of problem. And now I have 28 divided by 5. 28 divided by 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And then I need to subtract. 28 minus 25 is 3. And this time, instead of using R for remainder and showing that I have a remainder of 3, I'm going to continue on with my division steps. I'm going to add a line so I can add a section of problem. And the first thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need a decimal. And I can add the decimal here because in 428, the decimal is at the end of the whole number. It's behind the 8. So I'm not changing any values here. Once I add the decimal, I want to bring it straight up and place it in my quotient so I know it's in the right place. And now I can add the 0. And adding the 0 here also doesn't change the value of the 428. Now that I've got this section set up, I'm ready to bring the 3 up into this section of the problem. And now I need to do my division steps again. 30 divided by 5 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Then I subtract. 30 minus 30 is 0. So 428 divided by 5 is 85 and 6/10. This example is 327 divided by 4. And the first thing I want to do is section my problem off. So I'm going to put the lines in between each digit of my dividend. And I'm going to start in the first section with 3. 3 divided by 4 is 0. I've divided, now I need to multiply. 0 times 4 is 0. Now I subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. Now, instead of bringing the 2 down, I'm going to bring the 3 up into my next section of problem. Now I'll start with division again with 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So I've divided, I've multiplied, now I subtract. 32 minus 32 is 0. And instead of bringing the 7 down, I would bring the 0 up. But if I bring the 0 up, I still have just 7 in this section. So I'm going to leave the 7 there just by itself rather than put the 0 in front of it to keep my problem a little bit cleaner. Now I need to divide. 7 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3. From here, I don't want to use R3 for remainder 3. I don't want to show my remainder with the R. So I'm going to need to start another section of my problem. And the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to place my decimal. And in 327, the decimal comes at the end because the decimal is always at the end of a whole number. And once I place my decimal, I want to bring it straight up so that it's in the correct place in my quotient. Then I can add the 0. And now I'm ready to bring that 3 up into this section of my problem. So I'll have 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. And 30 minus 28 is 2. or you can show your regrouping step here to do your subtraction. Now, from here, I also don't want to use R for remainder and show that I have a remainder of 2. I'm going to add another section of problem, and I'm going to add another 0. Instead of bringing this 0 down, I'll bring the 2 up, and I will have 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and when I subtract, I get 0. So 327 divided by 4 is 81 and 75 hundredths. This example is 119 divided by 3, and I'm going to start by dividing my dividend into sections by placing lines between each digit, and I'll start in the first section with 1 divided by 3. 1 divided by 3 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. When I subtract, I get 1. Now, instead of bringing the next 1 that's in my dividend down, I'm going to bring this 1 straight up into the next section of my problem. Now I'll have 11 divided by 3. And 11 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And 11 minus 9 is 2. Now instead of bringing the 9 down, I'm going to bring the 2 up into my next section of problem. And I'll have 29 divided by 3. 29 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. When I subtract, I get 2. And here, I don't want to use R for remainder and show that I have remainder 2. I want to continue dividing. So I'm going to add a line so I can add another section of problem. The first thing I need is my decimal. And in 119, the decimal is at the end of the whole number. I'll bring that decimal straight up so I have it placed correctly in my quotient. Then I can add a 0. Instead of bringing the 0 down, I'm going to bring the 2 up, and I'll have 20 divided by 3. 20 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And 20 minus 18 is 2. And if you want to show your regrouping step to do the subtraction, go ahead and do so. And from here, I also don't want to show that I have a remainder 2 using an R, so I want to keep dividing. I'll add another section of problem. I'll add a 0, and I'll bring the 2 up. And here, I have 20 divided by 3 again. 20 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And 20 minus 18 is 2. And I don't want to add an R for remainder, and I also don't want to add another 0 because I will continue to have 20 divided by 3, which is 6, and that 6 that is in my quotient is going to be repeating. So this is where I'm going to stop my division process, and 119 divided by 3 is equal to 39 and 6/10, using the line above the 6 to show that the 6 is a repeating decimal. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.